Hi Libra, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am App Mizolette and you are now watching Mystic Miz Olette's Tarot and Astrology. So thank you for being here. This reading is for anyone who has placements Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus in Libra. As usual, all messages may not resonate with every Libra. So if you're finding that it doesn't resonate with you, try not to make it fit. Instead, check out your other signs, your other placements, so your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus to get a more thorough horoscope. So this message is for the week of November 14th through the 20th, and this is for Libra, like I said. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently now. We're going to go into your stars, and then I have a special spread that we're going to do for the lunar eclipse in Taurus that's happening at the end of the week. Then we'll do your yes or no question and end with the oracle message. So Libra, right now I'm not doing personal readings. However, they will be back soon, so just stay tuned. Also, make sure you check all the description box information so that way you know what's up with me and you know how to get in contact with me. Okay. So Libra, let's get into your stars. So starting off the week, we've got Sun in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, and Mercury in Scorpio. All of this is second house energy for you, Libra, and for me too. I'm a Libra. So second house is all about your self-worth, your self-esteem, your gifts, your talents, your skills, and ability, how to increase your worth in this world, right? So with the Sun being here and Mars, you're taking action this week. You might even be making an investment. You can be negotiating deals, negotiating contracts at this time, or you could just be thinking about how to make more money. Mercury is here, so you could be communicating. That's why I said you could be communicating on how you want to make more money or just doing things to increase your self-worth, working on your skills, your talents, your abilities, and only you know what it is that you're working on. But you're taking action. Mars is here, so you're definitely taking action, and the Sun is blessing you with vitality and energy to put forth toward this. So I know that that's what you're focused on is money, 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 money. Hey, hey, money. And also this week, sorry, we've got Venus in Capricorn, which Capricorn is our fourth house of home, stability, security, family. This is at the bottom of our chart, Libra. So with Venus being in Capricorn, you're taking a serious approach to family or to home. So when it comes to the fourth house, it could be a family member. It could be your actual family, you know, your close-knit, immediate family. There's changes that are going on here, but Venus rules love, money, beauty, relationships. So there could be harmony in the home finally, you know, with Venus in this area. Like you could be feeling blessed with your home. You could be moving, thinking about moving, renovating, buying new curtains, new drapes, you know, redecorating, that type of thing, painting, anything. You could be adding a new family member. Somebody could be leaving at this time, but most, whatever it is, it's in harmony with your life with Venus being here. And then at the end of the week, we've got a partial lunar eclipse happening. This is the full moon in Taurus. So Taurus is our eighth house. So the eighth house rules everything deep, like death, regeneration, debts, sex, just anything that you can think of that's deep, you know. So like you could be going through a deep spiritual awakening with this energy in the eighth house. It's been here for a while because we've had this energy for a while because Uranus has been here for a while in Taurus in this eighth house. Right now it's retrograding, so it is conjunct this full moon. And so while it's conjuncting this full moon, there's going to be some like unexpected changes that happen within the eighth house. So it could be an unexpected debt that arises. You could be working on paying off a debt at this time. It could be something that happens, you know, with regard to, it could be really anything, but like the eighth house is ruled by, it's just the depth, like, so everything that is deep. And so there's just a lot going on and you're going to just feel really like this is what I wrote. I said there's going to be a drastic change in feelings regarding an eighth house matter. And Taurus is really like a stubborn sign, you know, so you could be feeling resistance in your life when it comes to eighth house matters. Like I said, mostly I feel like it applies to debts. Like, how can you eradicate debt from your life? How can you start to feel better from whatever you owe, whatever it is you owe? Because it's like right now you're thinking about the things that you owe and how to release them, how to get from often under the constraint of whatever it is you owe. But like I said, the eighth house also rules deep thought, deep thinking. Like you just could be thinking really deeply about your life and the changes that you're going through. Like the eighth house is kind of a vague house for me because it rules so many things, but I just know that it's deep. And so a lot of Libras are not used to going deep, you know, but at this time of the full moon like shines a light on something, and whatever is shown to you will make you make a change, because it's like once you know, you can't go back to unknowing. And so something is going to change for us Libras, and it's just going to be like, oh my God, here we go again, you know. And this energy is going to last for the next 2 years because these eclipses will keep happening on the Scorpio Taurus axis for this whole time. And if your rising is in Libra, it really is going to affect you. But if your sun is in Libra, it's lesser. So make sure you check your rising sign to see how this eclipse is really going to affect you. But for Libra, like I said, you could be in deep thought about something, you know, that could be the extent of it. But if you check your rising sign, you'll see exactly how it affects you. But if you're a Libra rising, I really feel like it's going to affect you as far as how you feel about the debts, about whatever you owe, you know. And if you don't have any debts right now, it'll still make you and have deep thought because you're going through a change that's coming from within. Like you can't explain this change. That's why I'm stumbling through it too. But it's going to come from within. The light is going to be shown on something, and it could be an unexpected change that you have to make in regard to something deep. Like you're going to be like, oh my God, this is deep. I've never had to deal with this before, right? Because we've had this energy before, you know, but I feel like right now it's really unique because Uranus is in the same sign, and then we've got all the planets in opposition to this full moon. So the sun, Mars, Mercury. So you're going to just feel this like push and pull, or this resistance. Because like I said, Taurus is a stubborn sign, and it's going to be like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go. But you're going to have to make a change. So just keep your eyes open, and you can come back to this video, comment below what changes that you had to make or what happened, what were you shown. If you feel like sharing, you don't have to share, because like I said, it's going to be deep. You might not even want to talk about it yet. But we'll see. All right, Libra. So let's get into your tarot reading. So this month I'm going to be doing a new spread, or it's actually for the week. So the lunar eclipse in Taurus tarot spread, I got this spread from an astrology app that I love a lot. And it's usually just about astrology, but lately they've been adding a lot of different tarot information to it. So it's the Astro Matrix app. So if you're looking for an app to learn astrology or to learn tarot, make sure you download that app on your phone. I love it. I've been using it really since 2003. That was when I first started to study astrology, and I've been using it for a long time. That's how I learned. So anyway, I'm going to be using the Light Seers Tarot deck by Chris Ann for your reading. So let's get into it. All right. So Libra, what messages do I need to know for Libra for the week of November 14th through the 20th? Libra. All right, the first card that I'm going to pull is going to tell me what grudges or emotional burdens do you need to let go of during this lunar eclipse in Taurus. So tell me what grudges or emotional burdens does Libra need to let go of during this week of the lunar eclipse in Taurus? Show me, Spirit. Thank you. Angels ancestors, creators, spirit guides, show me the messages I need to see for Libra. All right. We've got the Two of Cups coming up. So I'm thinking the Two of Cups have to do with the partnership. You might be holding a grudge against a partner, or you might just have an emotional burden like within a partnership, right? And so in order for you to let go, you're going to have to love yourself in order to let it go, because the Two of Cups can be a partner, but it can also be the way that we love ourselves. And so self-love is going to be the way that we're going to let go of an emotional burden. Even if you're in a partnership, the harder you love yourself, that partner is just a mirror. They're just putting up a mirror to you. So the more you love yourself, the more that partner will match that vibration of loving you, and then it'll just be in flow. So if you have a grudge against a partner or an emotional burden against this partner, like this partner is feeling like, oh my God, why is it, the way that you change, you can't really change someone, right? The only thing we can control is ourselves. So you have to go within, ask yourself, what are you doing to bring about this reaction or this burden? What are you doing? And then once you can make the change within yourself, or even if you just close your eyes and see that person being the way that you want them to be and saying, this is how I want to see you, like, you would be surprised how that person will start acting the way that you see them in your mind's eye. But you can't force a person to change. And so if you're thinking you can do that, Libra, you got to let that go. You can't force a person to change. A person will change when you change. So change always starts with you. All right. So the second card is, how can we overcome self-sabotaging behaviors? Excuse me, it's kind of cold here today. How can we overcome self-sabotaging behaviors? Show me how Libra can overcome their self-sabotaging behaviors. Libra. I got too many. That's like 5 cards that fell out. So let's try this again. 1 card, Spirit. How can Libra overcome self-sabotaging behaviors during this lunar eclipse in Taurus? That's 3 cards. Show me, how can Libra overcome self-sabotaging behaviors? 1 card, please, Spirit. 1 card for Libra. The cards are being very secretive today. Well, we got 2, so I'm going to go ahead and take them. We've got the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is kind of what I was saying, basically. Open your third eye, how you want to see things. It can be how you want it to be, but you got to go within, and see that person or that situation being how you want it to be. So the Ace of Wands is usually like a new opportunity, a new, extending somebody the olive branch. It could even be the male phallic part, if you like something new, right? It could be a new message coming in. But I really feel like for you, this is going to be opening your third eye. How can you overcome self-sabotaging behaviors? You have to see it in your mind's eye first. So when you want something to happen a certain way, it's time for you to close your eyes, open your third eye, see it how you want it to be first. Then that's kind of how you ask, how you ask, believe, receive, right? So this is how you're asking. You have to ask. You have not because you ask not. The Page of Wands here is also about the newness. Like the Page of Wands comes in with the message. So it's like, these are the messenger cards, but they're also the most spiritual cards. Like the Page or the Wands are the most spiritual cards of the deck. And the Page is like the beginning, it's like the child, like I said, you're going in like a child. Like if God told you, okay, you could have the wonders of the world, you could have everything you want as long as you could see it in your mind's eye. Would you do it, or would you say, oh no, God, that it'll never happen that way? Like, I can't do it that way. I gotta force it in order for it to happen. And he'll say, okay, whatever, have it your way, but then it'll never happen and you'll self-sabotage. So what I'm saying is believe like a child. What I'm saying is in order to create, it starts in your mind's eye. You can't You're self-sabotaging if you believe that you can force things into fruition. You have to see it first. That's asking. That's the asking. All right. Because if you're just forcing it to happen, you're not really believing that you can ask, receive, and believe. You're actually believing that I only get what I want through my works. And that's not true, Libra. You don't get what you want through your works. You get it through grace when you ask. All right. So ask for what you want. That's what I'm saying. How to overcome self-sabotaging behaviors is ask for what you want. And I'm not saying ask people for what you want, ask spirit for what you want. That's totally different. Okay. So card 3, how do we find forgiveness and acceptance? Show me how Libra is going to find forgiveness and acceptance. Oh, I got one that's trying to flip, so let's take it. The 6 of Cups. So from the past, like I feel like there were things that probably happened in the past that you haven't forgiven yourself for. And it's time for you to forgive yourself for things, even if you didn't do it, because the 6 of Cups really rules your childhood. So there were probably some things that happened in childhood, you know, the conditioning that you received. So what I'm saying basically is you have to forgive yourself and forgive the people that raised you. They did the best that they could with what they had. And it's not up for you to judge it anymore. It's not up for you to hold yourself to that standard. So if you have a lot of negative self-talk, like I'm reading a book right now, I'm going to suggest it to you. It's called Self-Parenting. And I think the guy's name is John Pollard, but you should look it up. Like I had to request it through the prospector and from the library, but it is an awesome book. It talks about the inner parent. So basically we're always parenting ourselves as adults, but the parents that we hear in our head are actually our real parents that we had as children from the ages 1 through 8 years old. We were conditioned on how to parent ourselves completely. So you can have a positive inner parent or a negative inner parent. And also what lives inside is that inner child. See the inner child right here? And so we have to learn that the inner child is going to want what it wants, and it always overrides the inner parent, right? Because the inner parent cannot control the inner child. If you think about a child, like when a child wants something, it goes ballistic for it until the parent either gives it to them, and if the parent tries to override the child, then the child throws a tantrum and gets crazy, you know. But like I'm saying, the inner child cannot be controlled by the inner parent. It has to be nurtured by the inner parent. So this book has been really enlightening for me because I have childhood trauma just like anybody else. And the negative self-talk that's sometimes in my mind, I have to go back in and ask the inner child, like, well, what do you want? You know, like, what would please you today? Because I basically have to start learning how to communicate with that inner child, because that inner child is pretty much like our subconscious mind. The book is so deep. That's why I said the 8th house is deep, right? And that's why I said we'll be going through some deep changes. But I feel like how you find forgiveness and acceptance is forgiving yourself, forgiving your parents. They did the best that they can, or whatever caretakers you had, even if you didn't have like your actual parents weren't there for you. Maybe you were raised by a family member or foster parents or whatever. You have to go back and forgive them and forgive yourself. And that's how you find forgiveness and acceptance through this lunar eclipse. So the 4th card is how to flow and surrender to change. How can Libra flow and surrender to change during this lunar eclipse in Taurus? How can Libra flow and surrender to change? So I've got the 2 of Wands that popped out. Okay, so the Two of Wands are saying, you know, you're in between worlds right now. You're in between worlds. You haven't really made a decision. There might even be a little bit of boredom because things are changing, or you might just feel like you're stuck, you know. And so how you can flow is by being more decisive, making a decision. Like she's got one wand in her hand, which is the wand that she's doing, and then one wand is in the background, like a hope or a dream or a wish. It's like, make a decision, Libra. Make a decision and go for what you want. That's how you can surrender to these changes, by being more decisive, by just making a choice, you know, because not making a choice is still making a choice, right? Not making a decision is still making a decision. So instead of being caught in between two things, make a decision and go with that one thing. All right. That's how you can surrender to these changes. Like, decide what you want. Most people don't know what they want, so you've got to sit down and take some time to decide what you want. The next card, ways to improve our finances and emotional intimacy. How can Libra improve finances and emotional intimacy? Got a few cards that fell. This one fell first, so I'm going to take it. We got the Sun, ways to improve your finances and emotional intimacy. Like, I really feel like you need to be happy. All I really want is to be happy, right? It's time for you to be happy. Bring some happiness into your life, some joy into your life, because like attracts like. Like when you're happy, then the universe feels like, let me give them more things to be happy about, right? So the Sun could be about children, you know, maybe it's you're working with children right now, but I really feel like it's about joy, like bringing the joy. Whatever brings you joy, you need to bring it into your life, and it will increase your finances. It will increase your emotional intimacy when you have joy. Joy. All right, joy. And the sixth card, what do I need to purge and release? So what does Libra need to purge and release during this lunar eclipse in Taurus? We've got the King of Wands. Alrighty, so the King of Wands, you could be dealing with a Leo, like we got strong Leo energy here with the Sun and the Leo, the Lion there, but it could be a Sagittarius, it could be an Aries. But with the King of Wands, what you need to purge and release is your need for control. You know, like Libra always wants to be the leader. And I know because I'm a leader, you always want to be in control of things. And sometimes, you know, control, when you hold on to control, it makes people want to get away from you and make situations go all crazy because you're trying to control it. It's like, release your grip, allow things to come into your life, allow things to happen, release your control. That's what you need to purge. The need for control, the need to lead. Sit back and let others lead. See how where they're gonna take you, okay? You can't be the chief all the time, Libra. And I know, because I'll be wanting to be the chief too, but you need to release the need to lead. All right. And I know that's hard for some Libras because we're natural leaders, but there's obviously something in your life that with this eclipse that, like I say, you're not going to be the leader. You're going to be not the follower, you know, but you're just going to take a back seat. Let other people lead. Let your partner lead you, you know, let your partnership lead you. And how you lead is through this third eye, you know, like you go within and say, this is how I want to see things happen. So this is what I want. I'm asking, I'm believing that that's how it's going to be. And boom, you will be surprised that you didn't even have to do anything, like not anything real, like your work. Faith doesn't come from your work, right? Faith comes from your belief. All right. So what's the final advice for Libra? What's the outcome card for Libra? Final advice to wrap up the reading for Libra. What is the final message for Libra? All right, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is all about independence, right? And so I really feel like this is what you're working on, Libra. You might even be single, but like I said, you might be in a partnership, but like if you are in a partnership, what you need to be working on is your own independence, your own thing. Do your own thing this week. Make sure that you're happy with whatever you're doing. We got Joy a couple times. Look at how happy this person is. You know, she's like, I'm working on me. I'm happy with me. And that's what you have to be, happy with yourself. Bring that joy into your life. Release the need to lead other people. Like, only lead yourself. Like, you can only control you. You cannot control other people. All right. Even if they're your kids, like this book I've been reading, it talks about that. You don't own anybody. They might be your kids and they might have come from you, but you don't own them. You know, they belong to God. They belong to the universe. And so you can only lead them so far. And then you have to allow them to show you how they're gonna live their life and conduct themselves as people in this universe, you know, because we're all on this journey of, it's a spiritual journey, but we're wrapped in this human flesh, right? So the flesh is weaker than the spirit. So allow your spirit to shine, which will allow other people to see you. And that's how you lead too. It's like, as a Libra, we lead by example. You know, with you doing something, with you doing this is how you lead, taking care of yourself, making sure that you're self-sufficient, making sure that you're self-sufficient on your own. That shows other people how to live, you know, trust and believe. That shows other people how they should be. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and pull a rune from the Book of Runes. And I want you to think of a question that the answer is yes or no. And if the rune comes up reversed, it's a no. But if it comes up upright, it is a yes. And then I will go ahead and read you the rune message to tie it into the reading. I left the reading out just so that way I can refer back to it if need be, because lately the runes have been like on point with the reading. So what does Libra need to know? What is the answer to their question for November 14th? Through the 20th. What does Libra need to know? Show me, Spirit. What does Libra need to know for the week of November 14th through the 20th? I'm waiting for one to get in between my fingers. That's the one I usually say. Okay, I have one. Let's see what it is. What it is right now. Oh my goodness, is this? I think this might be signals, but it's upright. So your answer is yes. Most of my runes have come out upright lately, which is so strange. Let's see. Oh, it's possessions. Possessions. And it's upright. So your answer is yes. So possessions is on page 113. Let's go ahead and go to possessions. The pages are sticking together. All right, Fehu, that's what it is. So possessions, nourishment, and cattle. It says Fehu, this is Fehu, is a rune of fulfillment, ambition satisfied, love shared, rewards received. It promises nourishment from the most worldly to the sacred and the divine. From it, the ancient principle, as above, so below, holds true. Then we are also here to nourish God. The rune calls for a deep probing of the meaning of profit and gain in your life. Look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions you require for your well-being, or rather self-rule and the growth of will. Another concern of Fehu is to conserve what has already been gained. This rune urges vigilance and continual mindfulness, especially in times of good fortune, for it is then that you are likely to collapse yourself into your success on the one hand, or behave recklessly on the other. Enjoy your good fortune and remember to share it, for the mark of the well-nourished self is the ability and willingness to nourish others. So that's this right here. Like I said, self-sufficiency, self-nourishment, because the pentacles are all about things that you can touch, tangible things, right? So what do you have that you can share with others? Or, like it said, possessions. It promises nourishment, as above, so below. Look with care to know whether it is wealth and possessions, that's tangible, you require, or rather it's self-rule and the growth of a will. Because what did I say you needed to release? Release your will to be the leader. You know, this is how you lead, by example, showing people that you can get it, and then they gonna get it. I love it. I love that for you, Libra. Hopefully you enjoy that too. So let me clear this off, and I'm gonna pull one more message for you here from the African Goddess Rising Oracle by Aviola Abrams. I really love this little oracle deck. I got it last month around my birthday time, and I said I was going to use it. So here we go. What does Libra need to know for the week of November 14th through the 20th? What does Libra need to know? Libra, what messages does Libra need to know? Show me the message for Libra. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, creator. Thank you for these messages. What do we need to know? So we got resistance. And I got this for another sign too. I want to say Aquarius. So if you have Aquarius anywhere in your chart, make sure you check this out. But gang, Sarah, for my Libra gang. And it's number 22, which is an angel number, 222. So gang, Sarah says, you are scared that you are going to mess it all up. You may have stumbled, but this is a new day. Learn to show up for yourself. You ghost your own dreams and resist your own magic. Stop holding back, worrying, and pretending to seek perfection that will never come. When it comes to you stepping up into your greatness, resistance keeps you stuck. Resistance blocks your growth, creativity, and evolution. Resistance may look like procrastination, laziness, disorganization, excuses, or lack of motivation, but there are deeper forces at play. You are resisting the force you really are. Your declaration for this week is, this is me, I show up. So show up for yourself, Libra. Like I said, you're supposed to be working on that 9 of Pentacles. Like I said, that's your independence. Show up for yourself. Alrighty. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace and namaste.